Hey all, Hibber here. So we are back, and this time we are in the Wichita, one of the more powerful Tier 7 cruisers. And when this ship came out, it was probably the most powerful Tier 7 cruiser in the game. And like I said, it is still very, very powerful. So here we are, and we have the pretty tough spawn here. It's a legendary battle, and the destroyer is telling me that he's gonna go ahead and go in. It's just some random guy. And I say, okay, fine, yeah, I'll support you in that, because what you do in a cruiser is to support other ships. And in this case here, the destroyer is the lucky winner. And of course, my plan is not to engage all the red ships that will pop up sooner or later here. I just want to get in far enough so I'm able to radar the opposing destroyer, and then hopefully take it out, while my destroyer is able to then cap the B cap without any destroyer in there to spot him. So that's my plan. But then this guy here smokes up really early on, and I'm thinking, okay, but yeah, okay, fine. I'll just use the smoke when it's there. Why not? So just slowing down, and then popping myself in the smoke here. And we have two broadside battleships here, and no one's shooting at them because no one else is in position. And that's just a shame, because yeah, there were some very nice citadels just waiting here for an awake battleship player, but there aren't many of those. So they're both going behind the island now. That means that I can continue supporting my destroyer, because they won't be able to fire at me now. There might be ships to my right somewhere, but you can see one battleship and he's moving away, so it's pretty safe here. I mean, as safe as it can be when you are surrounded by two Georgias and a bunch of legendary ships. But I'm still spotted, and the destroyer is obviously around, so I pop my radar, and we need to take this destroyer out, because that is the whole point of me moving in this far, to support my destroyer. And I always hear people say, oh, the cruisers, they never support the destroyers. And the cruiser players always say, oh, my battleships, they never support the cruisers. And well, yeah, that's true. And that's one of the reasons I have agile builds on my cruisers. That's exactly so I can pull off stuff like this in full vision of the whole red team. I'm just sitting here and I'm killing their destroyer, and there's nothing they can do about it. And just gonna get one more salvo off, and then it's time to disappear. And that's the end of the test count. One destroyer down, and pretty much my job is done now. But like I say, everything else from here is a bonus. So obviously everyone wants to sink me now, so there's going to be a lot of incoming salvos, and I have to keep an eye out to pretty much every angle while I am trying to go dark. And it does happen here, and then unfortunately I got spotted again, which is terrible. But see, my destroyer, he's not doing what I expected him to do. He is, for some reason, starting to move back instead of capping, and like there's no reason he couldn't cap. Just stay at the periphery of the cap. The Worcester won't be able to radar him then, and everything's good. And the battleship in the beginning, they were taking up pretty good positions, but now they are not. And as you can see, I'm doing my best not to get sunk here, retreating from killing the destroyer. And I finally go permanently unspotted here. And I am just checking what else is going on the map here. And right now everything looks okay. I mean, yes, we weren't able to take the B cap, which we really should be. That destroyer is just a gun for the B cap. And I mean, he has like as much cruiser support as he can possibly ask for. I was right behind him, and I took out the other destroyer. There's nothing to be afraid of. He could just stay and cap, but instead he decides to go out to the flank and get killed. So that's perfect. So I'm thinking, okay, there's only battleships on this flank here, and there's no real risk of them moving down to cap A, at least not in the next 5 or 6 or 7 minutes, something like that. So my efforts are probably better spent elsewhere now. So we've removed one destroyer from the game, and then I see torpedoes, and I think, okay, well, the other destroyer must be over here on the other flank then. And like I said, this flank here is safe for now. I mean, all the battleships, the blue battleships over here, have to do is just sit still and, do what they do best, to shoot at the enemies. There are no destroyers over there to torp them. There's only one Worcester, and there's like 3 battleships, so it really shouldn't be a problem. But in the meantime, C is getting capped. And just in the last 30 seconds or so, we lost everyone over on that flank. And that means, well, I have to reposition, and I have to do my thing over there now. And here we have a Minotaur, and he seems totally unaware of the fact that C is getting capped. And it could be because he doesn't have a radar. Like, obviously he has smoke. And I keep saying that smoke Minotaurs, I don't understand smoke Minotaurs. What is the point? And as you can see, everybody is very eager to sink me, because that was a salvo from like halfway across the map. And that Conqueror is also aiming at me. So I need to get into cover quickly. But obviously I'm getting spotted by the destroyer over here, the one thing that I want to eliminate from this map here. And unfortunately, he gets the cap because no one reset him. And why? Well, the Minotaur was running a smoke build. Anyway, gonna move in, so I get into sonar range, and he's caught in quite a nasty position here, because I'm gonna come around the corner here, and I'm sonaring him now. So there's no escape, and just lining up the shot, and then he's removed. So there's both destroyers down now, and I started on the A flank, killed the destroyer over there in quite a like daring maneuver, and then when this flank was falling, I switched sides because I have an agile build. I'm really fast. It's like 38, almost 39 knots in this ship here, so I can, you know, switch flanks as I want to, and go over here, kill the destroyer here, and then help the battleship cap. And as you can see, over on the other flank, it's actually doing okay. The Reds haven't been able to really push through, but soon we are going to be a little bit outnumbered over there, because the battleships all the way out on the flank, one of them is showing broadside, which is probably not the best idea when you're facing 3 high caliber battleships there, and the other battleship is running away. So it's not looking too well over in that flank. So I just want to cap here, and then I'm going to go back over there to set some battleships on fire, because that's pretty much all I can do in Wichita, because this ship doesn't have torpedoes, and that's the major downside to it. Like, Jean Martel has torpedoes, and really, a Wichita is pretty much a Martel without torpedoes, just with a radar instead, and slightly better armor, really. So as you can see, I am desperate trying to win this battle here on points, because I can see a throw coming from a mile away. I could see that already when the destroyer didn't decide to cap the B cap in the beginning, because that was a mistake. That was an unforgivable mistake, and that happens, and you just got to live with it. The battleship over here, he's not spotted, but last he was seen moving away. So I'm assuming he's going to turn around, but it's going to take a while before he can get, you know, back and actually try to take the cap. So it's better I go over here and see if I can assist a little bit here. Perhaps even take the B cap, who knows. But there are a lot of battleships over here, and like you saw before, they are all very eager to have a piece of me. So I have to be careful, because yeah, I already took a lot of damage, and I don't have any heals left. And really, we should be doing a lot better now, because both red destroyers were removed, well, pretty much as quickly as they could be. And the Minotaur is doing well, despite that he's a smoke build, which I find like strange. But anyway, I don't understand that, like I said before. But it's still not looking well. Like, we are behind on points, and we have to keep these 2 blue caps here, otherwise we're going to lose. Because we are down in ships now, and that's just, well, it's unlikely that we're going to be able to sink 4 battleships when there's just 2 cruisers and 1 battleship on the other team. So the Minnow is asking for spotting, and there's no one else to spot. So I'm trying with my radar to see if I can spot someone without actually putting myself out there, but I can't. So I have to, you know, move out a little bit, and I just shoot. I mean, I could just sit here, but we need to do some damage, because these red ships are just going to move in on the A cap, and they're going to take it, and we're going to lose. The battleship will just have to do some spotting there for the Minotaur, when the Minotaur now is running a smoke build, where, you know, can't really do any damage unless someone else is spotting for them. And yeah, you know my opinion on that. So I'm just waiting for the battleship on the other flank to return, because then I need to scare him off, because we cannot afford to lose the sea cap. And as you can see, I'm spotting him now. I'm assuming I'm spotting him, and he's just about to enter the cap. So I have to return over here, and like it's me against the Conqueror, which is, you know, not the best odds in the world. And he's stopping before the cap, so tells me that he's probably not a complete beginner, because he knows that as soon as he enters the cap, everyone will know his position. So he starts off again, and then I just get a salvo off. But really, what I have to do is reset him. So that's why I continue down this way here, so I can get at him once he comes on the other side of the mountain here. And if I had torpedoes, obviously I would just enter the sea cap, set up an ambush, and, you know, hopefully torpedo this guy here very, very quickly. And we might actually be able to win this battle here. But as it is a Wichita, I don't have torpedoes, and I'll just have to make do with, you know, setting him on fire. Which, yeah, helps sometimes when you only have 3 minutes and 45 seconds left and you have a near full health Conqueror. Yeah, it's not looking good. So we reset and we set fires. And just trying to fit in between the shells here, as we do in Agile Cruisers. Only 1 hit, but still it hurts, like it's a legendary battleship. And yeah. And need to put a little bit more distance between him. Like usually 13, 14 kilometers, that's the golden distance where you have enough time to really position yourself to take the least damage possible. He has very nice dispersion on the salvo there, and just have to check, and we do it. So this is what Agile Cruisers do. Like one of the things they do very well. And you saw that in the beginning of the battle as well, where we're pretty much facing half the red team and killing the destroyer in front of them, and then kiting my way out of trouble. But here I cannot pursue this Conqueror here. He just needs 1 more good hit and I am done for. He is on fire and he's out of the cap, and that's the most important thing. He's out of the cap. That's what I wanted, because I want to win this battle here on points, and we're almost there. We just have to hold the A cap. But for some odd reason, the battleship has decided to leave the A cap now. And I mean, I've been going back and forth the whole time, filling in where there was a hole in our defenses. And I mean, there's a limit to what you can do as a cruiser. You are a support ship, but if people don't want to be supported, then yeah, it makes things tough. So now the Reds are actually capping A, and that's pretty much where I think, okay, we're going to lose this battle now, because now we're not getting any tickets. So it's crucial that no ships enter that cap, and that seems to be lost on my team. But anyway, we'll see if we can't sink some ships, because this Georgia here is really low on health, and that's a lot of points if we can sink him. And the Worcester is also not too bad, and there's another battleship that's also really low. So if we can sink those 2 battleships, that's what my battleship should be focusing on. He should not care about that Conqueror. That Conqueror is out of the game now. Nobody cares about him. He will never be able to make it into the cap again. And the Minotaur, he knows what has to be done. You know, he takes out that low health battleship, but at the same time, he loses spot on the other low health battleship, and that's just too bad. He probably smoked up. Who knows? So I'm trying to set up some sort of attack on the Worcester here, but I have to be careful, because if the Yamato sees me, he's going to take me out with 1 shell, and that's a definite loss then, and we only have less than a minute left. So I'm betting the farm that the Worcester will go around the island, and I'll be able to meet him to the left of this island here, and I'll be able to citadel him. But unfortunately, it looks like he's actually doing that right now, but then I get spotted, and you know, the deal is up. He knows that if I kill him, then the battle is lost, and I would have to citadel him right now, because I pretty much only have time to fire 1 salvo, and the Conqueror is still going at me, and we lost the battleship as well. But we're actually ahead on points now. And we are almost pulling this one home here. We are 1 point ahead here. little bit more, 2 points ahead, and just a second left, and in the last second, we lose. So, I mean, you can do your best as a cruiser or any ship really, and you're still going to lose. So, hope you enjoyed this battle here, guys, and I'll see you out there.